Hello, my name is Ryan Wickham, and welcome to another episode of Behind the Scenes with Ryan Wickham. I always seem so enthusiastic when I start the show. It's like, bam, here I am. Anyway, so I want to announce once again that Outlaw Principles is sold out 4 times on Amazon.com. So, world, thank you, thank you, thank you. Trust me when I say I do appreciate your support. It's a very controversial, thought-provoking, very conversational sort of book. And I can promise you, you won't be bored reading it. Short, concise chapters that jump off at you right from the very start. Joining me, before I even go on to the next part, I want to announce that if you're not a person who enjoys purchasing things online and you like to do it in person, you can go to your local chapters today and purchase a copy of Outlaw Principles. You can order it there. And you can pay cash, debit, credit, whatever you want. Either way, again, if you're not a person who likes purchasing things online, just head into your local chapters today and you can order a copy there. Okay, joining me today is Josh Wallen from J. Wallen Productions. Thanks very much for being on here today, brother.
Oh, thanks for having me.
My pleasure. Josh is here today because we have been buried with questions regarding the various chapters. Now, I want to be very clear here. This is not a spoiler alert. You can still watch today's episode of BTS with Ryan Wickham, and it's not going to take away from your reading experience. They're not questions to sort of give away the content too extensively, just they address certain parts about the chapters, right? So it won't really take away from your reading experience. If anything, it would enhance it because you have some insider knowledge going into it. So, all right, we're going to start with, we're going to do chapters 4, 5, and 6, a question for each chapter. Hit me up with chapter 4, brother.
All right, chapter 4 comes straight from a bike enthusiast, not biker enthusiast.
No, not a bike enthusiast, not a biker necessarily, just a bike enthusiast.
Someone from Texas.
All right.
What does the Harley mean to you as a symbol?
I think for me, the Harley Harley Davidson stands for freedom, thinking outside of the box, being your own self, regardless of what that might be, without an apology. I think that's a beautiful thing. I think that we all have symbols in our life, regardless of what kind of life we live or where we come from, which really stand for us, whether it be patriotism, whether it be part of a club we're a part of, whether it be our ethnicity, a race, a family symbol of some sort. And I think that for bike enthusiasts, Harley Davidson really stands for their own individuality and being their badass, sort of off the grid taboo or non-taboo self, and that's really what I think that the Harley Davidson stands for.
Okay, that kind of leads into our next question about mainstreamers and nonconformity. How does it apply to you and other individuals?
Well, as far as I go, I think I'm a pretty much, I'll call it spade to spade. I'm definitely an oddball. I don't pretend to be somebody that can fit in within mainstream society very easily, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think there's lots of people like that who have difficult times fitting in. And because they are different and they don't fit into that necessarily that 9 to 5 mold. And if you are a part of that 9 to 5 mold and you want to live a very sort of humdrum life, hey, kudos to you. If that's who you are, be true to who you are. Don't try and be something you're not. But if you're not that, or you're not entirely that, then just be whatever that is. I think the worst thing we can do to ourselves, the biggest lie we can tell, is when we behave in a way that's not true to who we are. So I think that's something I really hope a message that you take away from that chapter.
Oh, such a better outlook on life.
Yeah, exactly. You want to stay true to who you are. Maybe you don't agree with 100% of the picture, but like I said, find yourself within your own life and be true to who you are and let the chips fall where they may.
And that brings us to our last question, and it's about relationships. Who has stuck around in your life for the good and for the bad?
You know what? I think that this is actually a really cool chapter because I think that a lot of people, when they go through difficult times and when they're coming out of it, they tend to reflect and dwell a lot on who didn't stick around and what they lost. Whereas I look at the cup half full. I look at people. I focus on who did stick around, not so much who didn't, because I think the ones that didn't stick around did me a favor because they revealed themselves to not be the true people who I could count on, right? So all the difficult times I've gone over since we've become friends, and brothers really. You've been one of those people that stuck around, and my mother and my sister, those are the two people for whom I lived the night that I became disabled, when I was severely injured and I was fighting for my life. I've had a number of other friends and some relatives who have also stuck around through those tough times, and I've got this fiance who I love with all my heart and soul, who I know who I can always count on regardless of what's going on. She's one of those very special people, so. Yeah, I suppose you could say, my mother and my sister and my fiance, you my brother Josh, and certainly others as well. I've been very blessed to have those people. I've seen them stick around in my life, and uh, yeah, I mean, I think that if I could say one thing to everybody watching today, don't think about who didn't stick around. Think about who did stick around, and the beauty of that. So. Well, that's a very quick episode today of BTS with Ryan Wickham. I've been wanting to sort of shorten them up, make them the chapters a bit more, or sorry, the show a bit more concise. Um, we will be discussing in the next episode. We'll be covering slut shaming and sort of speaking out against that. So women, really, please tune in for that one. I'm speaking out for your equality. I'd like to thank Josh Wallen once again for joining me from J1 Productions. I really appreciate you being here today. I'd also like to thank my technical support team and the head of that, Keith Hooper. KL Online Services does amazing work for very affordable prices. And I'd also like to thank my sponsor, Canadian Red Dragon. Amazing tattoo work, craftsmanship galore. You will be more than happy with your work from there. Check me out on my website blog at www.ryanwickham.klline.ca. That should be showing up on the screen as we speak. And I will see you next time on BTS with Ryan Wickham.